Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that today we are gathered on the traditional territory of the signatories to Treaty 7. We also acknowledge the Métis people of Alberta who have a deep connection with this land. We are actually 950 meters from the confluence of the Bow and the Elbow River. We're in a very historic part of Calgary. My name is Terry Rock. I am the President and CEO of Platform Calgary. I'm joined today by the Honourable Nate Glubish, Minister of Technology and Innovation and MLA for Strathcona-Sherwood Park, and Christina Williams, CEO of the Alberta Enterprise Corporation. At Platform Calgary, we're all about bringing together the resources of Alberta's technology ecosystem to support founders and entrepreneurs to launch and grow their startups at every step of their journey. This is a hub and a purpose-built home for innovators focused on inclusive, tech-led economic diversification, job creation, and increased prosperity for all Albertans. And so we're thrilled to be hosting everyone here today for an update on investments that will help more Alberta startups get started and grow. And with that said, I would like to invite Minister Glubish to the podium to provide further details.
Well, I'm so excited to be here with you today at Platform Calgary to talk about some really good news. Thank you, Terry, for hosting us here to share this good news about some exciting advances in Alberta's tech sector. I often say that technology is not just an industry, it's the future of every industry. And I can also tell you now that there has never been a better time to be in tech in Alberta than today. Over the last 3 years, we have seen record levels of investment, leading to more jobs and a more diversified economy. We have more than doubled the number of tech companies in that time. We have seen international companies like Amazon, internationally recognized companies like Amazon, Garmin, Infosys, and Jobber, and many others who are betting on Alberta by expanding in our province. A recent example is Garmin recently announcing the expansion of their headquarters in Cochrane. This will create nearly 200 new tech jobs. And last week, we announced that Aplexis Technologies had chosen Calgary as the location for its brand new Canadian headquarters, bringing even more jobs and more capital to our province. The Alberta Advantage is not only attracting more and more businesses, but it's also enticing record levels of investment and record numbers of Canadians who are moving here to bring their diverse sets of talents with them, further broadening our talent pool. We know that companies want to invest here because Alberta actively supports business growth. Along with our low corporate tax rate, no payroll tax, and a young, highly motivated, and skilled workforce that can support the efforts of these technology companies, those opportunities are growing exponentially. And so today, the Canadian Venture Capital and Private Equity Association, or the CVCA, announced that Alberta has had yet another record year for venture capital investment. I'm proud to say that 2022 saw 85 venture deals worth $729 million, surpassing last year's record of $561 million. That's a 30% increase over 2021. And so while I think it's also important to note that at a time when Alberta is seeing record increases, the rest of the country is seeing significant decreases. We have seen the national average of a 30% decrease in dollars invested and a 6% decrease in number of deals closed. And our neighbors to the south in the United States are seeing similar declines in venture capital metrics all across the country. So what does that tell us? That tells us that Alberta is bucking the trend. Alberta is punching above its weight. Alberta is growing at a time when on the global stage there are headwinds for the technology industry. And that is an indication of how robust our technology ecosystem in Alberta has become, and that we are seeing more dollars invested, more deals being done, and the average deal size growing year over year as well, a 33% increase compared to 2021. So when I say that Alberta's technology industry is on fire, I mean it, and the numbers support that statement. We are seeing record levels of investment leading to more jobs and a more diversified economy. But we're not done yet. We need to continue building on that momentum, and the work that Platform Calgary does is so instrumental to that. The work that Alberta Enterprise Corporation does is so critical to that. And I'm pleased to say that I'm actually very excited about Budget 23, which will be coming out next week. Will include an increase in operating funding for Alberta Enterprise in order to help them to continue to keep up with the pace of investment. And I know that President and CEO Christina Williams will have more to say about that in just a few minutes. This funding is one of just one of many actions groundbreaking companies to push the limits of what the future can be. This strategy seeks to create 20,000 new jobs and to see Alberta's technology companies generate $5 billion more in annual revenue by 2030. A number of initiatives have been announced in support of this strategy so far, which included our recapitalization of Alberta Enterprise Corporation with $175 million of investment to support our technology companies and to provide access to capital for early stage companies. We've also committed up to $35 million of funding for over 3 years for business accelerators and scale-up programming to help Alberta technology companies grow. So initiatives like these are helping to foster Alberta's tech ecosystem and to attract more investment and to help our technology companies not just to start, but to scale and to thrive. And if the investment we've seen over the last 3 years are any indication, that strategy is working and we're just getting started. Investors and entrepreneurs have confidence in our tech sector and our economy. Alberta is building a reputation as a province where companies can start up, scale up, and succeed. And with our government's continued investment in the technology space, and with our innovative tech entrepreneurs and our talented workforce, I believe that Alberta will continue to break records in the tech sector well into the future. I'll now turn over the podium to Christina Williams, the President and CEO of Alberta Enterprise Corporation, to share a few more details about this investment. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Minister Glubish, and thank you for your support and for the support of Government of Alberta for the technology sector here in the province. As the Minister mentioned, we have had a tremendous increase in the number of technology startups here in the province. We've seen 200% increase since 2012. Not only are we adding more companies, but we are also maturing the ones that we have in the funnel already. We have some great entrepreneurs in Alberta, but we need to support these entrepreneurs so that they can stay and grow here, and we need to support them with capital and with other resources. Why do we care? Why is that important? Because these companies will solve some of the challenges that we have in the energy industry, in the healthcare sector, in the ag tech sector, which are some of our foundational industries, but they will also create new technologies that will solve some of the problems that we have going forward. And they will diversify our economy. They'll create high-value jobs and a more resilient economy for Alberta. As the Minister mentioned, for the 5th year in a row, we're seeing growth in the venture capital investments into Alberta. This is the best year on record. Since 2009, we have seen about $3 billion invested into Alberta of venture capital. $729 million of that was this year, so 2022. That is spectacular. Our 3-year growth rate is close to 50%, while the rest of Canada is about 17%. Canada has been on a bit of a roller coaster in terms of venture capital. It's been up and it's been down and it's been up. But with Alberta, we have seen steady, steady, steady growth year over year. This is not by accident. First of all, we have great entrepreneurs building great companies in Alberta. Second, they have access to more capital now. We have a supportive government. We have great support systems from many local organizations and institutions, not to mention Platform Calgary, where we're at today. With AEC, we've invested in 30 venture capital funds, and we just announced a couple of weeks ago our investment in Evoke. They made an investment in Calgary-based Summit Nanotech. That was a $50 million investment round. Our funds cover various industries such as machine learning, artificial intelligence, ag tech, industrial tech, and life sciences. Our funds and their partners have invested over $1 billion into Alberta technology companies to date. But the demand for capital is still higher than the supply. So we have to continue to support these companies for them to be able to grow. The increased budget for AEC that was announced today We'll make sure that we can make more investments at a faster pace. We can connect more entrepreneurs to investors. We can connect more investors to each other. And we can help support initiatives to increase the quality of startup companies here in the province. I'd like to mention in particular startalberta.ca. So this is an initiative that we helped launch together with many industry partners here in the province. This is an open source data platform that investors from all over the globe can connect into Alberta technology companies. With this increased budget, we can help ensure that this platform will remain open source and available and accessible to everybody. This is supporting industry, and it is supporting our awesome entrepreneurs in Alberta. So thank you very much for coming today, and thank you to Terry at Platform Calgary for hosting us, and I believe that we are open for questions, if there are any.
So if there are any reporters in the room who would like to ask a question, please stand up to the mic and identify yourself. One question, one follow-up, please. Quiet crowd. If there's any reporters on the line that would like to ask a question, we ask that you keep it to one question, one follow-up. No reporters on the line? All right, that concludes the formal portion of our, oh, we have.
Can I interject? Is that okay? Yeah.
Absolutely. Can you identify yourself first, please?
Patrick Lohr of Panache Ventures. We are a fund, our latest fund too is $100 million supported by Alberta Enterprise. Christina and Minister, congratulations on this. It's so heartening to see support of the early stage ecosystem on this. I'm wondering if you can talk about whether or not, what we can do in the ecosystem to help encourage more investors to invest in Alberta, including, other investment firms, other family offices, not only in Alberta, but the rest of the country.
Well, thank you, Pat. It's a good question. And, one of the things that I think a lot about, given my background as a former VC before I got into politics, is the more people out there who have capital to invest, who get an opportunity to have a taste of investing in tech, who see a bit of that success that technology investment can bring, who have their first win in a tech deal, they're going to become addicted to investing in technology. And that's a good thing for Alberta's tech ecosystem. And so anything that we can do as government and as the investment community who are passionate about seeing our tech ecosystem grow, anything that we can do to work together to help share the story of the power and the potential of investing in technology with new prospective investors, with folks who maybe built their wealth in traditional industries, whether that be in oil and gas, whether that be in construction, whether that be in real estate, whether they be accountants and lawyers and other professionals. But folks who have the means and an interest to invest, but maybe have not yet built connections and networks into our local tech ecosystem. We need to find ways to invite them in, to invite them to come and meet with VCs like your team, Pat, and to meet with mentors at Platform Calgary, to meet with entrepreneurs who come to Platform Calgary, or we're up in Edmonton to Edmonton Unlimited, to build their networks and to tell their stories and to seek capital. We need to help them to learn more about what's different about investing in tech compared to investing in a traditional business, because they're very different asset classes. They behave different, they're valued different, and you invest differently, and your due diligence process needs to be different. But anything we can do to help them to learn about that and to build their networks, I think it will over time unlock a whole new pool of potential investment into Alberta's tech ecosystem. And I'm very eager to explore that conversation further with investors like yourself. Thanks, Pat.
Great. Well, thank you to Minister Glubish and Christina Williams for bringing this news about Alberta's growing technology and innovation sector. Platform Calgary is proud to partner with organizations like AEC and the Alberta government to ensure innovators across the province are well supported. Just upstairs on the second level right now, there's over 100 companies that are involved in various programs that we have at any given time. Some of them are raising money in this tough environment faster than has ever happened before in the city and the province, thanks to this level of support. The tech ecosystem in Calgary is continuing to grow at huge rates, and that's in part due to the investments mentioned today, and this trend has showcased that as this trend showcased within the CVCA Private Equity Association report. Huge companies are seeing Calgary as a place to land. Emphasis, Infosys, mCloud Technologies have all chosen Calgary as the place they're going to build their businesses, and they're getting involved with the community. This is changing Alberta's business environment as we know it and will provide many more opportunities for Alberta to shine. Complementing those large companies that are seeing Calgary are the hundreds of local companies that are getting started here and across the province that are going to be part of building prosperity long into the future. Thank you for coming today. Cheers.
Thank you, Terry. That concludes the formal event of our program today.